So today we're talking about customer engagement. So you've gotten the leads that you wanted, people have entered their details onto your lead gen forms, and basically now what? What do you do after this specific step? So customer engagement is the process of building relationships with these potential clients. Everyone that enters their information is not necessarily a client straight away. So you do have to, first of all, create the relationship with them, manage it, and also nurture it to keep them coming back for more. So just a brief introduction. Hello, I'm Sabreen, and I head design and marketing at both Vitech and Springer. So the main reason that customer engagement is important is, well, first of all, getting new customers is expensive. I was reading the other day an article that says that per new customer, you would be spending around $71, which is very expensive considering if you're doing an ad that's targeting over 30,000 people, and then you're paying a lot of money just to get a new customer. So once you've obtained a client, it makes it much easier to keep that client and nurture the relationship and have them come back than spending money on trying to get new clients. It also is a way to boost retention. It keeps them coming back and keeps them as your client. It's all about making them happy, having them come to you first when they need something, regardless of what product or service that you provide. So when it comes to retention, you need to engage them. And the more you engage your customers, the more they'll have you in mind. That's why, and that's how they start developing brand loyalty. It's the same thing when it comes to, for example, Coke or Starbucks. You don't necessarily like the taste of the coffee or the drink, but you always come back to it because they provide a different sort of customer engagement than possibly any other brands. So once you've obtained your customers, it's very important to keep them loyal to your brand, have them come back to you again, and also it will cut a lot of costs in the long term when you are actually nurturing and managing that relationship instead of getting new customers. Now, that's basically what we're talking about. Why do you have to engage your customers? For example, if you're an app developer or your business idea includes an app, I mean, studies have shown that once an app has been downloaded and used, 75% of their users actually fail to come back or even open it again. Even just looking at your phone, just opening it up, they say that the average smartphone user has over 100 apps. And that could be true. Like, you would download an app just because you've heard of it or seen it somewhere. You'd open it once and then you'll just keep it there. It's also known that people do not delete apps once they're installed. I'm not sure why that's the case, but they actually don't. Even if you end up going into an exhibition and that exhibition has a specific app that they want you to download, you will most probably download it and keep it there, even though you've attended the exhibition over 8 years ago. It's also 50% easier to sell to an existing customer. Now, it's basically what we do at Vitech. Our customers keep coming back to us, and that's because they've already seen what we can do. We help them out in the past. Therefore, we're always there when they have a new project or when they want to go the different direction, or even if they want some maintenance. So depending on your service or your product, if they are part of your company, if they are actually customers or existing customers, then you're more likely to sell to them than obtaining a new customer. It's also important to know that a customer's journey is never linear. In that way, you can always put yourself in the customer's shoes, or whenever you decide to go out and buy a specific product or service. Some people actually start out by researching or comparing different products, or it'll take you around 2 to 3 weeks of just looking and browsing through the internet before you actually make a decision. So when or how you get to the final click in the final purchase and actually going through with it, it's never a linear decision. It's never actually opening up one website, finding the product, and paying right on the spot. Even if you do that, you do and you will notice that you might keep it in your cart sitting there for a couple of days just in case before actually going through and completing your purchase. And that makes it a very difficult way to actually capture your customers and actually engage with them. Because what happens when they first come in onto your website? What happens when they are actually looking at the product? What happens when they're comparing products with a different supplier? So a customer's journey is never the same, and it changes when it comes to each product and when it comes to each service, because they behave in different ways according to whatever they want, whatever they need, and whatever their interests were at that specific time. So customer engagement isn't just about reaching out to them. It's not about keeping your social media active, but it's all these little points in time from when your customer is actually searching for you up to when they've actually purchased, and even after that, what happens after purchasing. That entire thing, well, that entire process is part of customer engagement. Now, where does the customer relationship start? Now, according or depending on your business and your business model and what you're providing, it could be either from an app install that you actually are providing a service, a sign-up form if they actually ended up on your website and entered their emails through a lead gen form, if they've actually bought something from you, or if they've just even visited your website. We were talking yesterday about platforms such as Hotjar and Google Analytics, where they actually get to capture where your customer is and at what point and what they are looking for, how long they're spending per page, and if they've actually clicked on something or not, where they fell off, also generating heat maps. So these points are all viable places where a customer relationship could start, and where you should actually focus on starting that customer relationship, starting that engagement, and actually trying to grab your customers since then. Now, when a customer has installed your app or even purchased, ways of engaging with them can differ. If it's a product, you can always offer them a discount on their next product. If it's, for example, an article or a report that you want them to read, there's always bonus content or unlock this new feature, or it's basically asking for the customer to kind of level up. What else can they do? This is your way of drawing the customers back into your app, having them opening it again, and engaging with your brand and your business once more. It's all about restarting the customer journey and kind of sending them little triggers and enticing them to come back and try out your app or use your app once again. Have you in mind every time they are looking for a specific service or a specific product. But when it comes to website visits and signups, you kind of have a different approach. Once a customer enters your website, you can have multiple prompts for them to join a newsletter, join a marketing campaign, sign up for free, or it could be like book a demo or start a free trial. There are so many ways and so many areas that you can do or you can use and utilize within your website to kind of capture their information. Now, once you've done that, it's all about your follow-ups. What do you do next? How do you get them coming back again? What more can you do to offer them support, to offer, or actually just engage them in a different way? You can't do, or basically, I don't recommend doing the same thing over and over again. So you need to find different ways to connect with your customers. Having them come back to you will just make things much easier in the long run for your business, and it is more profitable if you see them coming back to you again. Now, them joining your newsletter, for example, can help them. For example, if you do a newsletter every 3 months, then you know that they are receiving emails throughout the year. You know that you're keeping them updated, so that even if they don't need your services right now, at least they are being updated on your progress or your company's progress, or if you've released a new feature or a new product that you are selling. Then that way your customers, you're always popping up in your customers' emails, even if they don't open it, even if they have an inbox of 1,000 or 2,000 emails, they are skimming through. So your name will come through, will pop up, because sooner or later they will have to open that email. And that makes it useful, because even if they don't remember you, or even after a while they've just decided to go with a different service, one day you might release a new feature or release a new product that is of interest to them. So keeping that connection and keeping the communication line open between you and the customers is very important. What people also, I think, tend to forget about is how much you help and support your customer after they have purchased. Now, having a great product or having a great service is never enough. It's always about making your customers happy. So and I think as long as you have a great service and a great customer support, then the product will sell itself. Your service will sell itself. You don't have to worry about marketing it or spending a lot, especially when it comes to help and support and customer support, because you need to remember that people talk, and the more that they talk with one another, the more likely that your service or product will come up. So giving your customer that help and support is very important. If you hear that someone is complaining or you get a negative review, you have to engage with them. Tell them that you're working on it, that ask them to be patient with you, that they are being or feeling heard. That is important when it comes to keeping your customers, retaining them, and also is a huge part of engaging with them. Now, yesterday we went through, it was a quick view that Ahmed gave in about MailJet active campaign. I'll show you basically an inside kind of view of how to engage with your customers with these platforms. And also I'm introducing Zendesk, which these three I consider my main points of contact with any of our customers and any of our clients. Let's go. Looking into MailJet. Now, MailJet is an email campaign and email management app. Well, a platform. What I use MailJet mainly for is gathering all of my contact lists and keeping my customers up to date with news regarding our platform. Now, if you see this, it's a normal email builder where it is sectioned off with the ability to drag and drop text. I mean, I'm showing you a sneak peek into a campaign that I'm working on for the end of August. And when it comes to Spring Ring, we're releasing a new app for students. Because it's a whole school communication management platform, teachers have their own apps, parents have their own apps, but we've just completed and are releasing the student app. So this is how I use MailJet to create my email campaign and also send it off to a bulk of my clients, a bulk of our users, and anyone that is on our marketing list. This way, you can update your customers through a very simple tool. You do not need, it's completely free as well. So you don't need, all you have to do is kind of sign up and then start creating your emails and build your contact list. So that's MailJet, mostly for email campaigns and large email campaigns. When it comes to ActiveCampaign, this is where I use all of my customer engagement in general. Now, once we've entered or a customer enters their emails and their detail information, it needs to kind of trigger an automation. You cannot expect or basically have someone whose main job is to follow up with all of these leads. If you're getting around 100, sitting behind the desk and typing out emails one by one isn't really realistic. So this is where I use ActiveCampaign. It has several templates of an automation, because these things can all be automated and all of your emails can be sent out. So for example, let me just search for a welcome email template. So once someone enters their information on your website, ActiveCampaign allows you to create a whole new automation where a whole set of emails, links, anything that you want to send to your customer after that. So let's just get started. Cancel. Let's just, whoops. Let's just do that again. It's actually a very powerful tool that I use because they have so many different templates. You can use it and customize it based on your needs. Let's just go through that stuff. Let's just say done. So, as you can see here, once a contact subscribes to a list that you guys have on ActiveCampaign, it automatically triggers a welcome email. Now you can customize that and edit that based on what you want to tell your your customer. It could be as thank you for subscribing, or thank you for booking a demo, or thank you for purchasing this product. You can also then set times. You can wait for 1 week and then add conditions. Actually, this entire time frame is customizable. You can either wait for a couple of minutes, hours, and then act on it. So for example, if you decide to wait for a week, then you can see or ask and add conditions. If your customer has opened an email, if your customer has opened a link and then, or clicked on a link, downloaded something, created an action on your email, you can actually monitor all of that. Adding a condition basically tells them if yes, then you can send them another email. If no, you can send them a reminder. This is, I think, ActiveCampaign's best feature and strongest suit. You do not have to follow up personally with every single contact that you have. What you can do is build an entire automation, an entire flow, until you know that your customer is taken care of and engaged, re-engaged, and also, for example, add them to a different automation. They can complete a goal, enter a different automation once they have completed a specific task. So there are many different ways for you to capture and re-engage your customers and your clients through ActiveCampaign. This is only one of them. Once you've marked out the entire flow or journey of one customer and how many emails and how many follow-up emails that they get, you could actually have them, or have the entire customer journey and customer success completely outlined onto ActiveCampaign. You can have them coming in and out of different automations and actually engage with them for over a period of 6 months without you having to personally send out singular emails one by one. You can even monitor if they have replied to your email, what they have replied, and also send an email, a personalized email to them after that. But this is all automated. You are not sitting down there typing emails one by one. It just goes out to all of your clients. Now, this is a good way to keep them in the loop, to encourage them to come back, all while kind of decreasing the work that you have to do. Now, when it comes to Zendesk, it's a customer support tool that I use. It's basically the chat that you see usually when it comes to websites at the bottom. It feeds directly. There are several platforms, but my go-to is Zendesk. Now, Zendesk is not free, but you get to see how many visitors, you get to see all of the chat history, and anyone who actually comes up to your website, asks a question, you can reply to them automatically. What's good is that Zendesk has both a web platform and a mobile app. So even if you're not actually sitting at your desk, you could actually take your customer support on the go. Now, I do have to say that I do get carried away, as so do my team, when it comes to customer support. Since it is on our mobile phones, we do try to answer 24/7. But I do emphasize on customer support is very important, if not as equally as important as your product. Making your customers happy, keeping them happy is a huge deal, just in the sense that if you get any negative reviews, if you get, or a group of people just talking you down, it will actually cancel out on the rest of the positive reviews. So you always have to be careful on that. It's only human nature that when you are using a good product, you're actually less likely to give it a review. But when you have or you're having difficulties with one app, then it's very easy to give it a negative review. And most people actually end up reading those negative reviews, even if it was a small task, such as you were having problems trying to log in. That small of an issue with a customer can actually escalate and lead up, because a disgruntled customer will talk to others, but a happy customer rarely does so. So that's why I emphasize on customer support, having a good help desk, having a good team behind that, because you want to keep and maintain that positive image for your brand and for your company. Now, when it comes to building your strategy for your customers, it's as easy as 3 short steps. Now, starting off, you must understand your customers. You can segment them into different areas depending on their behaviors and interests, and engaging them through multiple channels, not sticking with one specific task thinking that it will work. Now, when it comes to understanding your customers, it's not just about the market research that you do. It's not enough knowing their interests or behavior or how old they are. I recommend, or basically recommend, you guys taking it to the next level. It's about obsessing about your customers. It's knowing completely everything, their daily habits, what they search for, how they react, what do they do. It's taking that, oh, I'm just researching or about my customers, to no, I actually know every single day what they do, when is their peak time to research for this specific task, when are they actually on their mobile phones, when they are using desktop, what are their different interests, what categories they fall into, how old they are. It's really about an obsession. That's where Google Analytics actually comes in, because you get to define your customers and understand them at a deeper level if you are actually walking in their shoes. It's not enough knowing that, oh, they're just interested, for example, in coffee, but it's getting or reaching to the level that you know that they are getting their coffee fix at 8 a.m. in the morning from this specific place. It's about, you know, that they have 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day, and they usually have lunch at 1 p.m. So you can actually market or target or show them an ad during that time for your product or your service. So it's more of an obsession and less of research. I mean, I know that obsessing isn't really a positive word, but when it comes to marketing, it will really help your marketing efforts. It will really help how you present yourself, how you talk to your customers, especially if you know as many details as possible. Now, when it comes to segmentation, you can differentiate your customer list depending either on region, on interest, on certain behaviors. It's all about targeting and targeting at the right time, because you can be sending out multiple of ads and engaging users throughout the day, but no one's looking because they're all at work. So, or you've created this amazing ad, but you're not reaching the right audiences because it's just too broad. This is when segmentation comes in. I know, for example, that it's useless to send out ads at the US right now because they're all asleep. It's midnight. So no one would actually be looking at it. So I'll start creating these small segments based on region, based on where they are at, and then personalize them as well. ads targeting Saudi is not necessarily the same ads targeting the US. It's not the same ads that are targeting the UK. So it's all about creating these little niches, part of your customer, yeah, part of your customer list, part of your entire clients. And it's just making it easier to target them and personalize things for them. One of the greatest marketing strategies, actually, that I don't think a lot of people picked up on was Starbucks. Starbucks writing your name on a cup is such a small task to um, ask their baristas to do, but that actually created a whole viral phenomenon, a lot of and free marketing that Starbucks customers started to do. Once it's as simple as a task of having your name written on a coffee cup or a to-go cup that kind of triggered this entire chain and got customers talking about it, even if it's misspelled incorrectly, even if it is spelled correctly, even if it's as tiny as a note. This was kind of Starbucks' way of engaging with their customers. And if you think about it, they got all of this free marketing out of it just because people will take a photo of it and post it on Instagram, or even just talking about it on Facebook or sharing it with your friends. They kind of were very clever to personalize these things and got actually their customers come back or wanting more or talking about it, to kind of keep them in the loop, to kind of keep them in mind. And even you'll see that you'll go on and tell a friend that you've got your name written wrong, and then they will go and try it out. And it's just this chain reaction that started. And it was as simple as write your name on a cup or ask them for your name. And then just people just automatically were engaged with this specific task. Just having your name on it made it seem all more special. And then it's also important to know that you need to engage with them on multiple channels. Engaging with them on social media alone will not be enough. There are thousands of apps out there and maybe millions of posts that go out during the day. So it's important to know where your customers are, what are they using, and then also use different platforms to target them. Now, if you have an app, you can actually send them push notifications on the app to kind of remind them to come back or to see what they want next. Or even as simple as, do you like using the app? Do you want to give us a 5-star rating? This is another way that you guys can use and actually utilize if you guys have an app. Social media is always great to keep clients, customers involved in what you are doing and giving them sneak peeks into your business and what you do, any product releases, or just any general updates that you have. It is a very strong way to keep your customers connected, if not together, but to you as a brand and to you as a company. Emails we've covered, such as the newsletters and the marketing campaigns that you might have. People underestimate the importance of emails. I know that in Bahrain we're more targeted towards using social media when it comes to connections, but email is a very powerful tool, because even if you have the small unsubscribe link at the bottom, people rarely do. I mean, you'd subscribe to so many newsletters and you'd get over 50 of them, but again, no one would actually go and unsubscribe from an email list. So it could be good. It's a good way to keep your customers engaged and having them come back to you more often. And also browser notifications. If you have any portals or websites that you have on, sending them notifications through the browser, prompting them to either give you guys a rating, write a testimonial, or that a new discount is now available. These small things will always help your customers come back to you in the future, if not now. And that's basically it.